In the year 2021, the fourth corporate war began, and that's when it all went to hell. I mean, it was already hell before then for most of us. But man, shit really hit the fan. The next couple of years, it just got worse, until eventually it all came to a peak between Arasaka and Militech. On August 20th, 2023, it all ended with a literal bang when a raid on the Arasaka corporate building brought the whole place crashing down, right in the middle of Night City. The nuke that went off took out the entire corporate sector, instantly killing 500,000 people and displacing thousands more. Now, 22 years later, we're finally recovering from that hellish time. But make no mistake, it's nowhere near peaches and cream out here in the red. Now, Night City is an even bigger playground for booster gangs, technocults, and all kinds of unsavory characters that wear everything from spiked leather to silk button-downs. What you do now will determine your fate in the time of the Red. It's time for you to rise up from the rubble of Night City. It's time to resist. It's time for some disorder.
Hey, follow around the birth of a soldier. When I decide if you live or die, rise up, resist disorder. Rise up, resist disorder. Nowhere to run, it's all undone. Everything burns, everything burns. I'll watch you fall down, I'll drag you face down. Everything burns, everything burns.
All right, we are back with the first game in the new year in session 26 of Cyberpunk Red, Resist, and Disorder. So it's been about 2 weeks since the last game. So who wants to recap what's happened?
It's the end of days. Night City will never be the same.
Or it's a Tuesday.
I don't. There have been very few Tuesdays. Like the Tuesday that.
I don't know. Maybe
Then we
Johnny
have
blew
Unleashed.
up the Arasaka building on a Tuesday. We don't
There
know.
are. Was it 7 of them, or as many as 11? Up to a dozen full-bore combat cyborgs, whose entire personality matrix has been replaced by the Rabbids virus, have fled from the radioactive hot zone. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. They're also poisonously radioactive. That's something that we. So
Well, not necessarily.
up to a dozen potentially dangerously radioactive full-bore combat cyborgs full of Rabbids virus ran from the Arasaka ruins in every direction through Night City. Do what the Rabbids virus does, which is ruin as many lives as possible and spread as aggressively as possible. Due to trusting too much in Blitz's anonymous internet contact, we found ourselves with only one copy of Soul Killer, meaning Netwatch doesn't get the one that they're expecting from our medic, and the African Union doesn't get the one that they're expecting from Hassan.
But we got paid.
We got paid a decent amount of money, which we are going to need to convert into non-liquid assets as fast as possible.
The answer to a question asked much earlier is 7. Originally, there should have been, I want to say...
There's a total of 7 of them. You are correct.
Six of them locked up. One of our guides converted and suborned. One shot by what would have been ambushers waiting for us on the way out.
On top of that, for however long his power lasts, the mayor of Night City also has a personal beef with us. We sided with his immediate enemies when he explicitly and specifically advised us not to.
Well, he had given you a job to get rid of one of the pains that was a
and
benefactor
job from her.
Yeah, and decided to take a job from them instead. in the middle
so yeah.
of taking of the said job that had already been taken.
We have three major factions who are annoyed with us, and the only people besides us in Night City who knows that the end is nigh is Biotechnica, whom we warned for some reason.
Well, so it's been a day because Blitz needed to go into the tube and get healed up, and then you guys went and found out that Blitz's buddy was indeed not a member of the Haitian Voodoo Boys, but in fact was a rogue AI who has taken your other copy of Soul Killer and disappeared.
Help.
Well, ain't nothing we can do about that.
Yep. So soon after, as you guys are getting to leave, Dreamer, you get a anonymous encrypted message on your agent.
Taking all bets. Threats or what? Do you think someone is threatening me? I know that's like 75% chance that it is, but there's 25% chance that it's not. Who wants to put down money?
I think it's people asking for an update.
And listen, old man, told you already. Like we're probably gonna need to fucking get.
I mean, you can do that if you want. I've got something else in mind. But sure, let's see what this note is.
All right. Like I said, it is encrypted. So if you wish to attempt to try to get it open yourself, or if you would like to hand it to your resident hacker to open it up.
Blitz, can you open this? Also, if it's a phishing attempt, just shoot my phone.
Sure, I'll try and open it up. Photography?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I was just trying to think if there's anything else that you could use.
How about 20?
20 is plenty, sir. It gives you a Dropbox address.
That's it?
Yes, it's an anonymous spot that you can drop off parcels and everything like that and packages to be picked up.
Is it for pickup or for drop off?
For pickup.
Oh, okay. Hey, you got to pick up.
Or potentially somebody waiting at a spot to shoot me. Like, either or, really, these days.
I mean, it could be a bomb.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows you fucked him over till you drive the knife in. Going to what?
Oh, no, I have a pretty firm suspicion, Yama, that a number of people are at least starting to suspect that I fucked them over.
Well, you didn't.
You going or what?
Oh, no, I'm definitely going to go. Okay, Blitz, let's be real here. One of them I absolutely did on purpose.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Could have shot. I'm just saying, you should have. We could have just shot him. Could have just shot him.
Yama, they took all my guns when they went to meet him. Now, I could have asked Robbie to strangle him to death, but getting out of the building would have been really difficult afterwards.
I'm sure I'm sure they had windows. Besides, Robbie's great at jumping.
I'm a little bit less good at jumping.
Happens to be the two of you.
It would have been difficult.
Robbie is very good at jumping, actually. Very good.
Yeah, I'm gonna just pat Robbie on the shoulder. You'd have managed it. I believe in you.
Jump thrusters were not enabled at that time.
I mean, you still to manage to jump between two moving vehicles in the first session, so there is still that.
You did do that.
All right.
It's all right.
He could potentially extract himself, but extracting the person of interest.
Yeah. Well, that past is past. We'll never know. But yeah, before I go to the list of people that I'm going to make phone calls to, let's go check this out and see if it is either an ambush, a bomb, or legitimate.
All right, the address is in the Haywood Industrial Zone.
Wait a minute. Is that in the old area where we killed Nazis?
That's a lot of places, but yes, Nazis were once there. Now they're not.
Basically over here.
Yeah. Nazis used to live here. Now they don't.
I don't think we ever actually, we knew about that place, but we weren't the ones to attack it.
Right.
No, it was part of the coalition of gangs that we were a part of.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. Let's see what this is.
I'm assuming paranoia is going to get to the better of all of y'all, so go ahead and give me some perception checks.
Hearing apply?
It's not paranoia when legitimately speaking.
when people are actually out to get you, yes.
So,
Vigilance.
does my superhuman audio hearing apply?
All senses apply.
Fantastic.
And Robbie, don't forget about your +4. Or +5, or whatever. it might be at this point.
I mean, regardless, Robbie's elf eyes see everything.
I can taste.
So actually, that's a 34 because you did not add your elf eyes to that. So you hear a fly fart around the corner.
Rude.
I shoot it.
Yeah, that fly was being very rude.
But yeah, no, you see the Dropbox, Robbie. You do not see or hear anybody with hostile intent toward your group, at least.
Other people, on the other hand, a lot of that.
So it seems to be safe.
Actually, with a 15, is there a mugging nearby in progress?
A 15 will not alert you to any nearby muggings. No.
Damn it.
Bullet 20.
I thought you were about to say, like, joke's on you. It was me.
Yeah, you know what? With a 20, a couple blocks down, you hear somebody say, "Give me your money."
I tap Yama on the soldier. It's like, if you want, this seems safe. If you want to go have fun, go in that direction.
I'm gonna go do that. I don't care. I'm gonna go do that. And in case anybody's wondering, yes, the plan is to wait until the mugging finishes and then mug the mugger. So, I assume other things are gonna resolve before that.
I mean, you don't even really need the money anymore. You're just doing this for fun.
Yes, correct.
Why are you doing this? Yeah. Boredom.
It's all I've ever known. Now shut up.
Came to an ambush.
I
There's
want you
no
to know how
sign
it
of
feels.
anybody to try and kill me. I'm bored.
So yeah, good. Presumably we have the all clear because Robbie has looked over this area on all levels besides spiritual and maybe also spiritual. I don't know, and just determined it to be clean.
Yes. Relatively, it is clear.
Robbie, can you tell if the spirituality, the feng shui of this place is good or not?
Robbie, you think some trash cans could probably be moved for better flow, but other than that, it's pretty good.
Fire chi in the area is insufficiently modulated.
So you're saying there's a fire hazard? I got it.
This is a different metric of analysis.
Arasaka just pumped all sorts of things into Robbie's head. Or maybe Robbie was like that before the conversion. I don't know. Only Dave knows. Okay, so let's open this up and see what's inside.
I don't know if you've ever been to one of those Luxor boxes or whatever where you have to punch in a code to get your packages or whatever, but there's a little code that was given to you to receive your package and everything like that, and you get it. And it's you never thought you would see this in your day, but it is a fairly small manila envelope.
Someone's a fan of the classics.
You open it up, and it is a very antique handheld tape recorder with a tape in it.
If this belongs to who I think it belongs to, I'm going to need someone to restrain me from smashing this against the wall.
Who do you think it belongs to?
I have some suspicions. Let's find a secluded place and listen to this. Yama knows all our phone numbers. He can find us.
But he's our ride. Well, I guess we could take the...
I mean, I figure
No.
you guys took the van, so.
Also, it's like, we're not
Van
going
is
to
a fairly
drive the
secluded
car.
place.
Yeah, we're not going to drive the car. We're just going to get in the car because Yama will be really pissy if he's not the one driving.
And by pissy, they mean homicidal. Don't understand. It's not yours.
So just in the back of the van, behind closed doors, about as secluded as we can make ourselves, I look at everybody else. I hold up the tape recorder. It's like, if this is fucking Raish Bartmoss having a dead drop for the last of his bullshit, Robbie, I'm going to need you to restrain me from smashing this thing against the wall because it is an antique. Can you do that for me?
He immediately takes it out of your hands.
That's probably
Like-
wise. That's probably wise. Thank you, Robbie. Just remove all the temptation. Please. Please click the button.
And activates the device.
The recording starts. It is a woman's voice who you are familiar with. It is Sylvia's voice.
This is unusual. Okay.
And it says, after some consideration, I have decided that I would like to take you up on your proposal. After looking over my data and the results that my research has been able to come up with at this point, I've concluded that where I am currently is no longer adequate to provide what I need to continue moving forward with my research. I feel a change of scenery is needed and perhaps a fresh perspective. In the attached file is the information you need, date, time, capacity, etc. Needless to say, discretion is paramount in this endeavor, and sufficient payment will be rendered.
This poor sick woman has forgotten how to speak human English.
I wish I was there so Yama could comment on this, but personally, the genius. She doesn't want to hold this bag either.
As you look back in the little manila envelope, there's a little memory chip in there as well.
So I'm just kind of like looking at all this and going like, so now she wants to move.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you, considering what's gonna be happening pretty soon?
I know, but just let me gripe. I know it makes no fucking sense. All right, let's, if you could please, the flash drive. Presumably, all the information we're gonna need is on that. Because you know what, if she wants to get out, then fine, sure. I haven't completely burned all my bridges with the African Union yet.
Okay.
There is a high degree of plausibility to the notion that in order to reassert a life elsewhere, she is using the Soul Killer or a copy of it as an asset. May be able to require a copy of our own as payment.
That would be good considering the awful AI situation. So yeah, it's something we would bring up.
Let's look up the particulars. What do the particulars say?
Like I said, it gives a date, time, and like a vehicle capacity in order to leave and whatnot. It is currently nebulous at this time, as it will be at the speed of plot for the purposes of game. Dreamer, this actually solves quite a few of your problems that had recently arisen.
Well, it solves a bunch of, I want to say, midterm quickly becoming short term. Like, the most immediate short term one is still out there in the homicidal, cyborgs. But these were a bunch of midterm problems that were rapidly approaching short term.
In the meantime, for security reasons, I would have advised Dreamer transferring his total liquid assets into, trying to think of the technical term for this, but non-online hard drive space.
You want to move it to basically what's called a cold wallet.
Yeah. No, that's all there for. I was like, so at the very least, like, the rabbits can't just like drain my ones and zeros. Now, when they absolutely crash the economy, either with massive inflation or some other fuckery, that'll be something else again. But I can't do anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we might be able to.
How many safe cities are there besides Night City? Like how many
They would have to physically move from Night
Non-rabid.
City to another city in order to infect.
Like each major metropolitan and everything like that is basically air gapped from each other. The way they communicate is through secure data bursts that are opened at very specific times on very specific days.
The thing that I was actually asking with that is once Night City is utterly destroyed, will other people still take euro dollars?
Oh yeah, no, euro dollars is it's a fairly universally accepted currency.
Okay.
Yes, but the local economy might crash because of whatever the fuck that they do, but elsewhere it might be fine because the rabbits virus will actually have to go through a number of fairly difficult hoops in order to infect systems outside of Night City.
Speaking of local economic interactions, how about my mug?
How about that, mother?
Roll a d6.
No. Let's stay focused here. What's important?
Yama, you got 50 Eurobucks and you're down 3 shotgun shells.
Wow.
Man, that guy took a beating.
You have to shoot him 3 fucking times.
There may have been witnesses.
It's called problem solving. Anyway, after 3 shotgun blasts Yama jogs back. What I missed?
So, you know the original job before we got sidetracked with a whole bunch of radioactive hellhole stuff?
No.
Taking Sylvia and bringing her to the African Union?
We were gonna do that second part?
Yes. Yama, I did absolutely say that I had people who could take her, and when people inquired, I told you who they were. Like, Yama, come on.
Yeah, but I kind of figured you didn't mean it that much.
Yama's more of an in-the-moment kind of thinker.
Anyway, Yama, she is now...
Part of Yamaraja has slept since that plan was originally devised.
I don't appreciate what you're implying.
Can you stop them from saying it, though?
Fuck you.
Yeah. So, like, Dreamer does jazz hands and says, but now she's mysteriously way more on board with getting out of Night City. Surprise, surprise, wonder of wonders.
Right, what do we think? Wait a minute. I could buy cars now.
Yeah, my list of purchasing items just went up.
Yeah, anyway, so what are we buying to steal her in?
Well, Blitz, what are the specifics?
I rattled them off.
Yeah, it's basically the date that she needs to leave by, which is in the next couple days.
Sure.
Time, being in a very conspicuous one where, you won't be overseen. Capacity would be for 4 people.
4 people.
And then various other needs of things to be moved.
All right, well, first things first, I call Oku.
Comes up and is all like, Dreamer, how goes everything?
Bad, but for you all, I can salvage something.
Oh?
So, Descent into Arasaka went straight to shit. You can thank old Bart Moss for that. Mickey rotten hell. But Sylvia is now on board with immigrating.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, that does lessen the blow of not being able to get the package.
Well, Sylvia may be able to help you with that too. I don't know. Kind of depends on what she's going to do. But I can't guarantee whatever she's going to do.
Would you like to explain in more detail?
She has a copy of it.
Really? How did that come about?
Mostly with a lot of running, screaming, and shooting from psychopathic robots that wanted to tear me limb from limb.
Ah, I see. So
No, when I say things went really bad in the ruins of Arasaka, what I mean it nigh apocalyptically bad.
I see.
Yeah, no, it was not a fun time. But hey, Sylvia's on board for immigration. We're looking at a time frame of either maybe today or tomorrow.
I think I can arrange a pickup.
Yeah. That'd be real great. So, just wanted to let you know because gonna need your help with that. I know things have been kind of topsy-turvy and whatever the fuck, but hey, it's Night City and nothing ever goes completely to plan.
So just so I know what I'm expecting. So we will be receiving one Sylvia Campbell and one copy of the Soul Killer program. Is this correct? Is this what I can report to
You can report
benefactors?
for sure. You can report for sure, Sylvia. Whether or not she brings a copy of it, I can't say anything for her. She may.
Didn't she say she was bringing like 3 other people with her?
I'm going to bring that up now. She's also apparently has 3 other people she wants to take with her, probably assistants for her research that are also getting out, which frankly is useful for you all anyway.
These are usually done in like video calls and kind of thing. You kind of like see him like nod. It's like, I see.
So,
I will make the proper arrangements.
okay, but yeah, you can say for sure, Sylvia. Whether or not she brings all that for leverage, that's kind of on her. I can't guarantee. It's a maybe.
I will make the arrangements and we will see what happens from there. if all goes to plan, our mutually beneficial relationship will likely continue and most likely improve, Treba.
Here's to hoping, because I may be calling on you again for certain things soon. More details forthcoming as soon as I have an idea of what the ground situation looks like.
I look forward to hearing from you. And he hangs up.
Thanks, Oku. Slows down my agent and she's like, okay, well, Oku's going to arrange the pickup. Now we just need to,
Buy fast cars.
surprisingly, yes.
Big fast cars.
You know who already has big, fast cars?
Exactly. And finally, they'll have to deal with me because I brought so much money. And you're going to warn them that it's time to leave before this city goes up in flames.
Well, maybe they want to hang around for that.
I mean, they might just take a few steps back while the city burns and then come back later.
I mean, sure, you pick over the ruins, that's what you do. That's 101. But you don't sit in the explosion.
Good, considering all the times that we ourselves have done that.
Shut up. Let's go to the old
Look,
college.
just because you're not fast enough to outrun the explosion that you make.
Now let's go visit the Aldecaldos and negotiate. And by let's, I mean you.
Well, y'all can do that. I need to go do some things.
Yeah, I'll help you
It's
with
your
this.
only
one.
friend,
I'll help you with this right quick, Yama, and then there's one other phone call that I need to make, kind of putting some affairs in order before things go straight to hell. So let me help you with this right quick.
Yeah, cool. Hop in, Robbie. Let's go.
All right, so y'all going to the Aldecaldo camp?
They have the best cars.
I'm going to the fixer.
You're going to the fixer. Okay. I'll resolve your stuff real quick since you'll probably be the quickest thing to do.
Oh, yeah, it'll be.
So you're going to go see Rex?
Yep.
All right. I assume you call him up beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you just say that you need to meet for something, or do you say what you need?
I'll let him know on some of the stuff I need.
Okay.
I know he can't get it right away. He can just give me a time frame.
Okay. What is it that you're trying to get?
I would like the Mandalorian arms 3516 for 10,000.
This is the way.
I would also think I would like the Constitution Arms Hurricane assault weapon so I can give it to Yama. He might appreciate one of those.
This is the way.
But if he can't, then we'll give it to Robbie.
Yeah, in terms of strict body score, I'll just tell you right now, Yama would very much like it, but would not be able to use it.
He doesn't meet the requirements. Okay.
Yeah. He would need the external linear frame in order to wield it.
Okay.
Because it's a railgun!
Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
So
Yeah.
what you're saying is this is a Robbie gun.
I'm sitting on a bunch of unspent XP. I could buy up the weapon skill necessary to operate such a thing.
Yeah. Other than that, I need to buy myself a new machine. I'll just copy the one I had, and then I need to get a pain. What's it called? A pain?
Oh, the
pain.
The pain suppressor?
Yeah, I need to get one. Because I hate these damn minuses when I get under half. That's just starting to bug me.
Do you have the space to install it?
I think so.
Yeah, you have 2 slots left.
Yeah.
All right, the pain suppressor chip he can definitely get fairly easily. The other things are going to be a bit harder to get. Also, going to need a trading roll with him.
Okay. Sure.
It's just like, oh, you take a few grand more, or
Oh
whoopsie.
no, he charges me double. Oh no.
He charges you double. You pay without blinking, and he considers that he probably could have gotten away with triple.
Yup.
So let's see. That's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, he charges you. He charges you triple for that.
Okay.
Whoop-de fuck.
He's like, that'll cost you 30,000. Okay, here you go. Okay.
Well, it's like on both items. So,
yeah, that's fine.
so what's the total amount on that?
Well, the gun's 30,000. The other stuff is
So
think it's
not money for the gun. I'm guessing you'll probably have to do some math for.
Well, no, the gun was 10,000. It goes up to
Okay,
30.
Yeah, it goes up to 30. I don't know how much the chip costs, but you said that was it's not too bad.
It's more about the rare items that he is really upcharging you on.
Yeah, he's going to need a few days to get these things.
Yeah, it's mainly just the gun and then a new machine, a new cyber deck.
All right. When you tell him that, like, yeah, that's no problem, that you got the money, he, like, kind of blinks at you. All right. Give me a couple days to see what I can do.
All right, I'll give him half in advance if he needs it.
That definitely helps. The deck, he said he can get to you by the end of the day.
Okay.
Great, because certain things that I have planned may require you to keep certain people from doing things to me while I do them.
The deck is originally 1,000, so it'll go up to
To 3,000.
3. Yep. So let me mark off 33,000 real quick.
Okay, so for the rest of you guys,
Hey, Aldecados. Honestly, we probably don't even have to break a lot of news to them because we likely dropped Grizz back off, or Grizz went back over there and explained, yeah, things are going straight to hell.
Yeah, it probably helps to have additional people insisting, no, you should go. You should go.
But in the meantime, can you give us some really fast cars before you do?
oh, I mean, you can actually just hire them for, like, basically subcontract them for this job.
We
That is an option. However, Yama wants these cars.
I mean, you can still be a part of it, but you can basically enlist
you
their
gotta
help.
understand, Yama wants these cars. He has a problem, and this is it. He wants these cars.
They're not just going to give you the cars.
That's what the money's for.
I realize what you're saying, but they're not just going to give you the cars right out. Because then they would need more cars, in which, you know, time is needed before that happens. I mean, they'll make a deal with you at some point eventually.
That's what you're saying is, if I steal them cars, they can give me these.
I think what Peter is saying is you have a better chance of getting the cars that you want if we subcontract out to them to help us with this job and then put down a lot of money and say, hey,
I am proposing an alternative solution.
I'll help you as best I can, buddy, but
All right. So anyway, you guys get up to the Aldecado camp. First person you actually end up meeting with is Grizz, as he's the first one to recognize that you're there.
hey,
Hey guys, what's going on?
well, a few things. And I want to talk to all the Locados about something that's coming up. Presumably you told them about the shit that got out.
Oh yeah, no, we've been having a big old hoot of a time talking about how everybody's just fucked.
Yeah, about that. So turns out, and I do jazz hands again, you know, your daughter's all for immigration now.
Really? Oh,
I guess,
yeah.
can't say I blame her.
Yeah, I guess you didn't want to be holding this bag either.
So getting some stuff set up to hopefully either do that today or tomorrow, you know, soon, before we deal with all the other immediate problems with our lives. And Yama wanted to talk with the Aldecados, just kind of confirm with, just kind of like emphasize, A, shit's fucked, and B, then I just kind of turned to Yama's just like, we're probably better off just like asking them to help us with this than like plopping down a bunch of money for them to give you cars, man.
God damn it. You sure?
Yama, go ahead and give me a perception check with your Nomad bonus.
Like from the roll?
Yeah, add your Nomad bonus to the roll.
Surprisingly low.
Oh, you did roll a 2, so.
It did help out with the fact that you rolled a 2, though.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna spend a lot.
All right. You look around and you see a bunch of shiny new car parts. Like a lot of them.
So that's what they did. That's what they did with Grizz's take.
I think Grizz is probably in their good books now. He's been a net positive at this point.
Yeah, he's like, hey, can I buy my freedom? Here's some money.
So here's what can you get done with even just
With half a million half a million
huge
eddies.
chunk of half a million. Like, let's assume he decided to squirrel some away for a rainy day. What does a huge chunk of half a million do for you?
The Aldecados go like, fuck yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of like new parts and everything like that. You see a few cases of some very high quality booze as well.
And an entire truck of beer.
Should have drove here first.
So like, I'll try to help you out with the other thing if you really want to insist on it. But like, chances are,
Honestly, I got so much. I figure you could probably set something up to get a couple passed off, call it a trade deal I'm facilitating. Yeah, have to do subcontracting.
not like
The
Aldecados.
disdain in which you say that is amusing.
I mean, it's not like the Aldecados haven't done that before. Fuck, it's not like we didn't do that for the Aldecados, Yama.
Like, you don't get it, man. It's not how it goes. They do that. They do this for us. Like in fact, like sometimes what they give us is just money, and then we make people disappear.
Chris is just kind of like looking at you with, the raised eyebrow and like, the fuck are you guys going on about?
Why do you think they don't talk about me?
Chris looks at you, kind of like breaks in. It's like,
So, what brings you guys over?
Well, help with plan. Help your daughter immigrate to Africa.
We want an extra car or two with expert staffing. That way we can
You need a smuggle job.
yeah.
Yes, because like I've already arranged on the other end for getting out of the city. We just need to get her from point A to point B, presumably, without interference in between point A and point B, killing us all in bullets and fire. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is usually the way that is preferred with minimal bullets.
Now, I'm expecting bullets, but like when you need a job like this, you go to experts in terms of just from getting from point A to point B as quickly and safely as possible, and that'd be the Aldecados.
That and between the two of you, if you can swing it, I'd look to get the car I'm driving armored up proper.
Yeah, your car does get shot a lot.
Yeah, I ain't quite been able to make it good enough back home to actually get it armored. It's part of the punishment.
We might be able to help you out. We did just get a bunch of new stuff in. I'm sure they might be able to part with it if you got the if you got the scratch for it.
Oh, gee, yeah, because like money is the least of our problems right now. You know that.
Yes, I'm sure you noted the hint of extreme sarcasm in that note.
Oh, I got it. Anyway, but yeah, presumably all this is what you've done with your end. How are you're basically just part of the clan now, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's great. Actually, I think I've got I think I know the guy who probably helped head this up for you. What's his name? Palmer. Palmer, that's his name.
I'm sure we've met him, but if you could just make an introduction, we'll talk over booze, get something set up, and hopefully, either tonight or tomorrow, we'll get this on the road, and then I'll move on to my next poor decision.
Wait, you are leaving?
No, my next poor decision. Like,
Oh, I thought you said sport.
no, poor decision, Yama. Poor decision. I'm staying. Like, yeah, things are going to shit, but I'll be here to ride the shit out.
Your call.
I mean, you don't have to stay.
Probably not.
so you hear Grizz call out,
Hey Jake, got something for you. And a guy comes over. He's walks over to you. He's actually holding little girl in his arms and everything like that.
"What's up?"
Hey, so I need to get someone from point A to point B as quickly and safely as possible, and there's no better people to manage that kind of job than you folks.
I appreciate the consideration.
Also, my friend here wants to basically turn his car into a fast-moving tank.
Ah, well, I mean, it's you.
Time will be compensated.
Yeah, better be.
So I've already got point B handled, to the best of my knowledge. Should be ready. I'm just kind of waiting for a call back on that for them to tell me that it's good to go. But point B is handled. We just need to ensure a pickup from point A, getting them to point B.
What kind of cargo are we looking at here?
I had a research of a major corporation.
Ah, an extraction job. Oh yeah, no, we've done quite a few of those.
Yeah, she has been how do you say seeking employment elsewhere and has taken a job. It's a poaching thing. It's a poaching thing. It's a corporate poaching thing.
Yeah, no, I got it, man. I got it. It's not mine, ours, or anybody's first rodeo around here with this one.
Well, that's why I went to you all. So, but yeah, if you could just tell me your rates, we can talk over a drink. You know, my friend here can hopefully talk with some of your mechanics. He's good for it, and we'll get something arranged. I know it's a bit short notice, but like a lot of things are moving really quickly. I'm sure Chris has told you that a lot of things are about to go straight to hell. So things are moving fast.
You see him like put the little girl down and goes, Pan Am, go see mommy.
Oh yeah, canon characters.
Girl's about maybe 3 years old at this point, so you know. All right, let's talk. He reaches down into a box, pulls out a beer, hands you one, sits down on like one of the couches.
And so I basically list off the details that Blitz told me. Just like need to be able to sit. It's her and 3 others. Here is location. Did Sylvia give me a time?
I mean, yes, I just made it nebulous for the sake of moving the game forward.
Right. I just like giving off all that, and it's like, yeah. So, I mean, at the very least, it's Biotechnica, so you know, it's not like going into Militech and getting shot with a bunch of tanks, but it's still a megacorp, so they're gonna still have a lot of guns.
Yeah. So the location is obviously outside of the Biotechnica building and not having to go into Biotechnica itself.
Right, but I don't believe for a second that Biotechnica is now keeping eyes on like their head people.
Right.
Especially the person who just brought them fucking Soul Killer.
I think she was golden at this point. But it's like she might have a protection detail on her.
Yeah, exactly. The person who just brought them Soul Killer.
I mean, she's always had a protection on detail on her. She has like the 2 assistants that she has with her.
Yeah, so I mentioned the assistants. They may be part of the people coming in. They may not be. Didn't get details from her on that. All I know is we're transporting 4 people, including her.
And equipment.
Probably some equipment. So it's going to need to be fast and it's going to need to be fairly spacious.
Takes 2 of his beer and is like, all right. He's looking over the details like, yeah, we can definitely do this. We got a armored cargo vehicle. We can move out, put them in like 2 different vehicles and then have a few decoy vehicles on top of that. Yeah, no, it's pretty straightforward.
God, I love working with professionals.
Mild glare.
So, due to the targeting extraction in question, this is obviously not going to be a cheap job.
I gathered.
So, we're probably looking at about 1, 2, 3 hours there. Yeah, we're probably looking at about 600.
I can do that. You all do good work, and I like you. And, well, I hope you like me, too. So, I'm presuming that's 600, not like if he meant 600,000, he would have said 600,000, right?
No, he means 600,000.
Oh, okay. Well, that's most of my money. Well, that's all of my money. So I'm gonna need some help with that.
Yeah. Yama just nods.
But I won't just kind of lean forward and go like, "No, I get that. Any chance at all you can knock that down just a tad, just from like good relations that we've had before? You know, helped you all out."
Oh, no, this is normally $1 million job.
You know what? That's fair.
Peter, what would it be to like mentally fact check if he's actually being honest about that part?
Here's my question for you. Has Yama actually ever been part of extraction jobs, or has he been more just part of kill teams?
The closest he has probably gotten is like maybe being in town, dropping a car off while somebody was talking about an extraction.
Oh, you weren't on the decoy team?
I would say you can roll a concentration check to draw on your experiences. As little as they are in this specific instance, you can add your nomad skill as a bonus to this.
Question: can I roll human perception, and could I have maybe a small bonus because of my continued good relations with the Aldecados?
Not gonna spend luck on that.
Yeah, no, Yama, this seems like a good deal.
All right, in that case, I'm Yama doesn't say anything. In the meantime, let's let Sam finish asking that question.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your human perception.
Any bonuses because I've worked with these guys before?
I would say you could potentially use a trading roll to augment it.
Trading sucks, so. But I guess roll trade first to see if I get any bonuses.
Yeah, roll trade first, see if you can get any bonuses.
Oh shit, that's better than I was expecting.
Yeah, that's not bad. All right, yeah, get +1 from that.
Okay, so human perception. I mean, chances are I'm not going to be able to talk this down at all because, like, I am asking for a fairly involved thing from them. But I'm also apparently like I can see his past and his soul.
Yeah. So you think what the usual amount is that he's saying might be a little high, but probably not by much. He might be just like rounding up 100,000 to say 1 million.
So like I just kind of like lean forward and it's like
You can tell he's still giving you a discount.
well, if I can tell they still give me a discount, I'm not going to push too much because like I'm already basically riding on these guys' goodwill to me. So like, I just kind of note that I think about maybe pressing, but then I think like, fuck it, we can manage.
Yeah. Yama, your expertise from this, he's possibly just kind of like giving you like the cost that it would be to replace destroyed vehicles.
Yeah, and that's I figure like what that role ended up Yama doing, like because he couldn't remember overhearing somebody talking about this, so he just ran some. What can they expect to lose? How much is that going to be worth? 600,000 sounds about right for a couple of good cars and maybe a driver or two.
And just like, well, it's more than a couple because they're talking about splitting them between 2 cars and having a bunch of decoy cars. So it's like there's a lot of cars and drivers.
A couple of good cars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I just kind of like look at Yama and it's like, spot me a bit.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Then I look back to Palmer and it's like, yeah, we can pay that.
I mean, I'll pitch in 100,000.
Well, that's nice of you.
Yeah, you guys can tally up how much money is spent up later.
Must feel pretty good being able to say, "Oh, I'll toss in 100,000."
No.
Like you're adding to the like, "Hey, anybody want pizza?" Yeah, no, I can.
I can put in $10.
How much could a pizza cost anyway? Like what, $50,000?
Oh, God. Look, now this is the rare feeling in any cyberpunk game, any cyberpunk setting, but especially this one, where you actually have enough money to just like go out and say, like, yeah, we can get like the best of the best for a job to make something that would turn into a multi-session deal become significantly easier.
Yeah, no, like if you had this money beforehand, you wouldn't have had to do that one job with to help them out.
It's the rare moment in a cyberpunk game where you can just go like, so this thing that would normally take maybe 3, possibly more sessions, just like, nah, you can get that done a lot quicker. Money is its own superpower.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it's like to be the rich.
By the way, do you have the car upgrades?
Yes, I do. I have the relevant page open.
Yeah, what page is that?
It's on page 163.
All right, so you want an armor chassis, right?
And bulletproof glass also.
Okay. Oh, also, by the way, you guys do have you guys did bring up a on your little cargo robot a bunch of old Arasaka guns.
That's true.
Oh yeah, these are actually probably almost certainly exactly the people to offload those guns to, says Yama, who doesn't like Grizz.
Well, I thought you did. Don't you? No, you like Grizz. You just don't like King.
No. Why did I say Grizz? Not Grizz. How have I forgotten his name?
Our biggest fixer.
Yeah, him. Yeah,
Rex.
He is Rex. There we go.
Rex Royale.
Oh, that's why I thought King.
Yeah, and that's why I was just baffled. Anyway, yeah, Yama strongly suggests selling these rifles off to the Aldecaldos because fuck Rex.
I mean, that depends on whether or not, like, because, they're with Blitz, Yama. That depends on whether or not he hasn't, like, already just offloaded them to Rex.
Yama's going to text Blitz. Don't sell the rifles to Rex. We sell them to the avocados.
How much are they paying?
He's going to show that to the Dreamer.
I'm just kind of like looking at you, Yama, and it's like, we have so many more things to worry about for like the immediate future. Are you serious?
Fuck Rex.
I look at Palmer and pull up some weapon details, and it's like, you want to buy some guns? Good. Arasaka Tech. These would be the schematics.
Oh shit, these are almost ancient.
Yeah, but ancient bleeding edge Arasaka is like top of the line now.
Oh yeah, no, they got the built-in smart technology. These things were awesome. I remember my dad told me about some of these things.
Like, you already heard from Grizz that we went down into Arasaka's radioactive bunghole and picked up some things, even though a whole bunch of other things got out. These are some things we picked up. So, like, and, yeah. Hey, what would you offer for him?
Oh man, I'm not really the gun guy here. We'll have to talk to Sam about that one. He's our quartermaster.
Yeah, sure. We'll make a stopover, but presumably this deal is done. So do you need to be paid like up front or upon completion or half and half?
We usually do half and half.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fair.
Don't worry about marking off money until like everything is said and done. We'll figure out how much everybody's going to pitch in for what.
Good.
I marked off 100,000. So
Okay, whatever.
Okay, so you're guaranteed 100,000 in. Like, I will happily pay the lion's share of this. It's just like whatever other people put in. But like Blitz, with your thing, technically we're kind of like at exactly where we need.
I mean, honestly, like I'll tell you right now, like assuming nothing crazy happens, I'm like down to just split it 50-50 between like the two of us, like the rest of that 50-50, 250K each.
Okay, cool. All right, so we've got that. So yeah, let's stop off at the quartermaster because we've already kind of got this set up with the avocados.
Mm-hmm.
Just the deal. So let's just go to Sam. Boy, that's weird for me to say. Let's just go to Sam and just say like, hey, you want to buy some old, really good guns?
He's like, you got them with you?
Not on me currently, but this is what they are. Slide my agent over.
I'm like, oh shit. How many of these you got?
Text Blitz. Blitz, how many did we pick up? How many guns did we pick up? 10.
Oh shit. Okay. Go ahead and roll a trading roll as you guys kind of like.
Yama.
Yeah,
Because you have the skill.
I'll do it. I assume the Nomad ranks. I assume the Nomad bonus applies.
It does not in this case because it's basically Nomad trading with Nomad. So you're basically canceling each other out.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Frankly, considering that's a +5, -5, all told, worthwhile. Let's go.
Wait, before you roll, Peter, can I roll persuasion to kind of talk him up a bit to give Yama some bonuses?
What's your pitch?
Look at this stuff. Like, yeah, you look at these schematics and you think, oh, this is 20 years old, but it was bleeding edge Arasaka stuff from the depths of their facility, pulled out at great risk from the charred out husk of their headquarters, I might add.
pristine condition.
Pristine condition, untouched for decades, top of the line stuff nowadays, because Arasaka, for all that they were immoral, awful bastards, they made good gear. They made really fucking good gear. So, even their old stuff is like top of the line stuff today, like Militech and Harp and Howl all they want. But, there was a reason why they couldn't just roll over Arasaka, and you would be getting 10 of those guns.
Now, question: you guys don't want to keep any of these?
Do we want to keep any?
Yama wouldn't mind. And
What are their stats?
As far as the just game mechanics, they are standard level assault rifles, but they have the smart gun attachment in there already, and it is not taking up an attachment slot. It is basically built into the gun.
So what you mean is it can be modified beyond the normal because the gun's base already has this thing in it.
Correct.
But they're not excellent.
Correct, but they can be upgraded to excellent.
Yama would like one, but fuck Grizz, but not Grizz, fuck Rex. So he is willing in this moment to just give up on that as long as he knows that Rex is getting
Blitz is the one holding the guns current. So if Blitz wants one, Blitz gets one.
Yeah, you can tell them 9. I'll take one.
Yeah, they do use shoulder arms. So if you
I have a chip for that.
yeah, no, I'm just saying for those of you who if you wanted one to keep, they uses the shoulder arms skill.
I also got a chip for that.
Okay, so 8. So I tell them 8 then. Unless Robbie, do you want one?
Negative.
Negative. Okay. All right. So I tell them 8. So and I've got on the table 8 of these for you. So how's that for a pitch, Peter?
All right, go ahead and roll your persuasion.
Cool. I'm rolling at plus 15 now because I've been really building that up. So I'm gonna get any bonuses from my 19.
Yeah, you'll get it. He'll get a +1 from that. So if you had gotten to the next one, I would have given him a +2.
I'm gonna go ahead.
I'm saving luck for a few things in particular that may be happening this session.
I'm gonna go ahead, spin 3 on that, make it a 22.
Spend 3 luck. All right.
Hey, good job.
So after everything is said and done, he'll give you a total of about he can do about 5,000 per.
45,000 eddies.
Just 40.
Oh, you're right. I can't do math because I'm an idiot.
It's the creative curse. None of us can do math.
We shake on it, and yeah, I just tell Blitz, it's just like, I had a deal for 8 of those guns to the Aldecados, 40K.
Okay, I'll be there in an hour.
Cool.
So you got a deal, giving them some nice Arasaka tech. Yama's getting his vehicle upgraded.
We've got them hired for this big job. And so when do the Aldecados think they're going to be ready for that? Tonight or tomorrow?
They'll need about 24 to 48 hours to get everything prepared.
So probably tomorrow at the earliest then. Cool, good to know. In the meantime, there's someone that I need to get certain affairs in order before shit hits the fan for real. I need to look up that guy's name again because it's been a bit. It is the name of the person who has attempted to kill me multiple times.
Oh, Jack Cooney.
Cool. I'm going to arrange a meetup between myself and Jack Cooney.
Okay. How are you going to go about this? That is the question.
Gonna send him a dinner reservation for a fancy place with the tag, "Hey motherfucker, I know it's you, show up."
Okay, so the not subtle approach.
No.
Okay.
Like, he's got a reservation for a fancy place, like the kind of thing where it's just like you need to spend $500 to get in, kind of thing. Where it's just like, I got that kind of money right now. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, okay. How upscale do you want to go? This is gonna it's gonna cost you up to about 10,000 eddies per person, kind of thing.
Does Robbie count? Because Robbie is not going to be eating anything.
Actually, it's more a question of would they even allow it in.
Yeah, they might request that you check Robbie at the door like a coat.
Just ask Robbie to stand there holding my coat.
There's like half a dozen bodyguards all standing in the lounge smoking. Yeah. We get it. We're in the lounge.
Oh no! It's like there's a fancy restaurant and there's a smaller, still pretty fancy but significantly less fancy restaurant for all the bodyguards. For like, if something happens, they can just rush into the room.
Are you kidding? At best, it's a greasy spoon.
So are you doing trying to do this on the same day? Because you guys are getting pretty close to like it's past nightfall at this point. So
yeah, there's gonna be like the final thing that I do for today.
Okay, so you're gonna you want to set up the reservation basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you trying to do it for tomorrow?
What?
Or 2 days.
Yeah. How long out are you trying to do? Like 1 day or 2?
I would do it after the drop off.
Well, yeah. How far out are you setting this up for?
Sure. After the drop off. Let's do it after the drop off. A bunch of things will be happening after the drop off. But yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to get that settled before I go with the plan that I told you about. A lot of things are gonna be happening after the drop off gets done.
Right.
It may or not happen this session, depending on what goes on. Like, it might be next session that I do it.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything anybody else wants to try and do today?
Get hold of a Geiger counter? and maybe do some robot hunting.
I want to buy a super ground car.
Most of my money is locked in until further
Yeah,
notice.
yeah.
Actually, you know what? Better idea. Yama remembers that lady who got him that nice turbocharger, and you know what? Sure, let's do her a solid real quick and drive out and actually warn her that this city is going to be fucked in a few days.
Yeah, I'll go with you for that.
Okay.
By which I mean, if you say that, then I'll say yeah, and then we'll just do that evening.
Hey Yama, can you put some armor plating on this stupid van?
Get me the armor plates, and I could probably do it. I mean, all things considered, you probably want to just ask the Aldecaldos.
Like if you can pay for it, then they'll do it.
How much does that cost? Is that 5,000?
Yeah, that'd be 5 because it's rank 5, give or take trading up charge. That's Peter's call.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's like 7,500.
Yeah, okay, might as well do it since we got this van tooling around. It's gonna get shot up at some point.
I mean, it already has because we shot it when we stole it from Nazis.
That's true, but we got it fixed.
Did we?
Did we?
I don't. Think
I mean, you took it from the Red Chrome Legion.
We didn't really shoot it up. We just pulled somebody out
No,
of it.
you didn't have to shoot that car specifically to acquire it.
Did break a lot of mirrors.
Yeah. I mean, I figured you got that all that stuff fixed up already. So
The driver's side window was the only part that was significantly damaged.
You're right. All right, I'll just spend the 70.
It's like I know absolutely we took time out of our day to scrub off any like Nazi symbology.
you basically made it to look like a band van at this point, I figured.
We liberated it. What we did.
Now it's got armor plating. Yay! Just in case it gets shot up while I'm driving around.
Yeah. Melinda, that's what her name was. I had to look up my notes.
So
Thinking back fondly to the brilliant interaction of, I reach through the driver's side window and pull him out. It's closed. I know.
Yes, when you got to be the slasher film villain for a session.
I mean, that was also the session of that one weirdly heroically rolling Nazi.
I'm not gonna die. Yeah, no, he got up to a +4 on his death save. Like he was lucky as fuck. Like at that point, it was just like it didn't matter what he rolled, he was gonna die. But he got all the way to the point where he just was going to die.
I mean, that session had the best dichotomy because we had that one guy up there being tough as nails and one guy who we just were all ignoring at the bottom of the drainage ditch because we were too busy dealing with like the injured people. So like, and he couldn't do much because he kept fucking up. Like,
yep.
He plinged me a little bit and was just like, "Ow, stop it! I've got more important things to do."
Okay.
Go with,
Yama, you can shop for cars tomorrow.
Cool.
Because that's obviously something that you would need to take time out of your day to do. So.
Oh yeah, and if it's like late in the evening, just unless like Yama is like literal absolute pedal to the metal and warning her is, like.
I mean,
He throws a note out the window while reversing back to the city. Like, no, he does not have enough time.
Well, I mean, it kind of depends. Like, Peter, can we stop by just to like warn her and like we could just shop later?
I mean, yeah, like her. So let me see. It's actually more or less right up the interstate from where the avocado camp is.
Yeah, gee, imagine that. The avocados are parking near where there's a lot of car parts that they might be able to get their hands on.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it'd take you like 15, 20 minutes from the avocado camp to get there.
Cool.
So, yeah. You guys arrive, like, right as it looks like she's getting ready to close up.
Hey, Melinda.
Oh, Dreamer, welcome back.
Ugh. I know you're closing up. Then this isn't really a shopping trip unless you still got that jacket on hand, in which case I'd be really tempted because I could afford it now.
I do, actually, and I could stay open a couple more minutes if you really want it.
I kind of do. 10K, you said?
That's my asking price. And I do believe you said you'd call me for dinner.
I did say that. You busy this evening?
I might be free.
Where do you want to eat? Night City is your oyster. But in the meantime, you know what? I think I am actually going to buy that jacket. Yama's definitely going to want to shop here tomorrow. And kind of want to give you a warning. And it's on a scale a bit bigger than the other stuff that we've talked about. Like, real concerning. Might want to think about your exit strategy kind of big.
Is it going to ruin my appetite?
It might. You want to wait till after dinner?
Let's.
All right. In the meantime, you know what?
If I
Give me
were
that.
her, I would break something over you for making that call. Like, wasted like took 6 hours and a dinner before you told me that. I have family in this.
Listen. For Yama, this is incredibly nice. You guys do this often, ever.
Yeah, so I go over to the samurai jacket and was like, let's see if my shoulders are the same as Carrie's shoulders right quick.
It's a little tight, but it fits.
But yeah, so I'm putting it on, it's just like, okay, so Carrie was skinnier than me. I can afford to lose a few pounds.
You said it, not me.
I did. And I'm just kind of like looking at myself in the mirror and was like, Samurai, Johnny, all those other folks are a bit of an inspiration to me. I'm like, I don't know, Johnny gave up. That's what I think. That's why he disappeared. Johnny gave up, got too bitter about it all. And I can kind of see why. Like, there's so much shit in the world, you know? I don't know, maybe it'll kill me, but I'm not thinking about giving up. I'm thinking I'll see it through until I'm too broken down to move anymore.
She comes up and kind of does that thing where she rubs her hand like across your shoulder. Not like a light touch, but not firm, but very much to where you can still feel it through the jacket.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Seeing somebody in this jacket game does take me back a bit.
Well, I'm sure you got some stories. Gosh, Johnny would have been doing his thing around the time that, end of Corp War. No, Johnny was a bit before my time. I would have emigrated. Well, I say emigrated. I just went over on like a nomad ship. A few years after that. There's some, I've heard some rumors that Johnny's disappearance just coincided with, the Arasaka building blowing up. Considering how much he hated those people, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some connection.
Well, there's a little bit of history on this jacket. This is apparently the last time that Carrie wore this jacket was the night when Johnny left.
Yeah, some real history then.
Hence the price.
That's the price. Speaking of, Robbie, my wallet, please. Thanks. And I fork over and I'll take it off. It's like this will just be my one big expense because everything else is going to be wrapped up in the other stuff.
Right to assume that he would have given it to you. I just can't help but think about how dumb and funny it would be if he didn't.
Yeah, it's just
frivolous expenditures are not needed at this time.
Robbie just digs his feet in the sand like, no, that's highway robbery. Robbery is illegal. I'm not giving you this money.
It's like this money is needed for much more important matters than a historical piece of clothing.
The brain fart, he didn't even have a rational reason for it. He just let go of it and then slap Dreamer.
That says absolutely nothing. Just for this one specific thing, categorically refuses. No.
I'm going to put on my gear. I have Carrie's jacket.
This also acts as a light armor jack for your body.
God damn, Carrie! You're going up on stage in this. Actually, you know what? That makes more sense.
With as many times as Johnny has gone on stage with just randomly firing off his weapon.
And also, Johnny Silverhands. You should. You really should.
I mean, in your job description is full-time musician, also full-time terrorist.
Well, Carrie wasn't really a terrorist. That was more Johnny's thing.
He was associated with one.
Sure.
Yeah, you gotta balance the twin impulse of going up on stage and also, realizing that you're placing yourself
In harm's way.
like, oh, I'm in prime sniping position.
Precisely the best time for somebody to shoot at me. Precisely.
Yeah, like that time I was on stage and someone shot at me. Like, I know.
It's like, yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Like, no, there's a reason why, beyond just Johnny's abrasive as fuck personality, that eventually Samurai broke up. Part of it was because Johnny was going on a Blaze of Glory mission because the terrorist part overcame the rocker boy part completely at one point.
But yeah, so you have Carrie's jacket. It acts as an upgraded armor jack for your body. So your armor does not change.
Oh man. No, I'm not going into battle with this. This is a historical artifact. I have this to have this for like sentimental value.
I'm just saying, should you happen to find yourself in a firefight while you have this jacket on,
I'd be real pissed as like if that armor gets ablated, like real pissed.
Well, there goes the resale value.
So yeah, I'm going to presume we have a nice dinner. Does she at some point dump a glass of water over my head when I mentioned, the thing that I said that I wanted to warn her about?
well, let's see how good your conversation roll is on this.
Do I have any bonuses for her liking me and also spending 10K this evening?
I'll give you a +1 right off for that. You can also roll persuasion and streetwise.
Okay, so the way this game works, so what the optimal way to roll would be roll conversation, and if it's bad, roll persuasion to get a reroll for conversation.
Normally, yes, but we're kind of truncating this, so just roll for your bonuses on this in this case.
All right, okay, so persuasion first, which is the skill that I am best at, because even the 21 on that, and streetwise, which I'm not quite as good at, but then I crit.
All right, so I'm giving you a total of +5 for everything.
Yay. Let's see if she still fucking dumps this water over my head. Well, I didn't absolutely flood it.
Do you want to spend any points on that? And it would be very expensive wine, probably.
Oh yeah. So, considering the thing that I plan to do is probably going to be next session, and I can just save the luck for that next session. Yeah. You know what? I need to beat 17. Fuck it. I'll go to 20 to beat 19.
All right.
So 3 left.
So you break the news to her after, dinner is done, after you've had desserts. You did the whole like, she very jokingly suggested a very expensive restaurant, which gives the 5-course meals and everything like that. Yeah. And then when you actually agreed, she was like, oh, well, all right then. So the fact that you waited for all of, the extremely fancy food to be done and you're basically to drinking wine has her in a bit more higher spirits than you would have been if you were just going to the greasy spoon, as Dave had put it earlier.
Yeah. And so I'm just kind of looking at her after a break and so that's what I'm going to be dealing with. And I've got some things that I plan to do, some things that I need to finish up before I do those plans. But yeah, it's bad, and you have been really good to me and to us. I'd like to consider you a friend. It's already going to be bad. If we fail, it will be the worst. And I'd like you to not be there for that.
She looks at you and kind of looks at her glass.
She's considering it.
I think we're gonna need more wine.
Yeah. I half expected you to splash that in my face, honestly.
As bad as this news is, this is way too expensive, and I would actually rather it be inside me than on top of you.
Steak knife, however.
As I order more wine, it's just well, speaking of, inside and on top of,
She looks at you like, subtle.
I'm very drunk.
Luckily for you, I am just drunk enough to find it part of your charm.
That's me, Lucky Hassan. Here's to us in Night City and hopefully getting out alive, huh?
May the flames that it burn in be brighter than the future.
Hear, hear.
And y'all have a rest of your drunken evening.
Fade to black.
Mm-hmm. Go and roll me resist torture and drugs.
how drunk I get or how bad my hangover is in the morning.
Low column A, low column B. Yeah, no, you got a pretty decent hangover in the morning.
Yeah, this is have a greasy breakfast and drink a lot of water hangover.
Yeah, this is a red wine hangover if you've ever had one of those.
I have. It is a unique kind of pain.
All right, so you sit up in the very nice hotel room that you decided to get for the night. By the way, mark off about 25.
25,000?
Yeah. This is like the world is ending money and I might die tomorrow events.
I'm glad other people have decided to foot the bill along with me for the job. All right.
That is total for the night. For the entire like evening that you put in. This is the stuff that, you know, high-end corpos usually indulge in. You sit up and, you know, you turn on the TV, and the first thing you see is a live news feed.
It's gonna be the virus, isn't it? That they're having fun, huh?
The thing that you see is you see one of the FBCs, and they are just like on a rampage. They are just physically destroying anything and everything that they can get their hands on. Like, it's just one of them though. It's smashing cars. It's grabbing people and throwing them through the air.
So this is one of the less subtle ones. This is the one that decided I'm just gonna go out and wreck shit.
Yeah.
His interface got shot.
Go ahead and there's a couple things you could roll here. You could roll concentration, education, or
Local knowledge?
no, local knowledge wouldn't be, because this would be trying to remember some of these things.
Oh, okay. It's something.
Yeah. Concentration or education, I would say, would be this. You could also augment this with library search.
So roll library after I roll concentration.
Yeah, or education, whichever one.
It's going to be concentration because my concentration is slightly better.
Is this like on the news?
Anybody who has turned on the news like this next morning, you see this.
I'm going to do the library search to hopefully get a reroll. No. I don't.
No.
My hangover's too bad.
All right. I will start off with education and then do a library roll if I get a crappy roll. 18.
Okay. So Blitz, at the very least, you kind of remember the whole Dante's Inferno theme that seemed to be going on down there.
Right.
And how each of them were, you know, the various lords of hell and everything like that, and each of the sins that they would possibly represent. And by going by that knowledge, this one is probably representative of wrath.
How?
Oh wow, they're going to be sticking with the themes. That's actually a lot more for us to go on with these motherfuckers than I thought we would get. Well, that's what Sam think. What Hassan thinks, kind of bleary-eyed as he drinks some water, is just like, fuck, there they go.
Oh, doesn't Robbie have the good detection or deduction skill?
If Robbie walks in with like, you know, a greasy breakfast and coffee.
No.
Robbie just walks in with like a little maid apron on, carrying a tray of like aspirin, and
I will send a message to Robbie saying, hey, it looks like these guys are following the pattern of Dante's Inferno. Can you run a deduction lineup to see where the other sins might go in the town?
Yeah, because I'm currently Hassan is just kind of like watching this, going like, yep, drinking water, yep.
Yeah. Blitz, go ahead and give me a library search real quick so that you can send a link to Dante's Inferno to Robbie.
Oh, no. At least it wasn't horrible.
Okay. You are still able to find a link to it. However, it is a very modern version of it. Dave, I don't know how familiar you, the player, are with the work of Dante's Inferno.
I haven't actually read it, but I... Oh, wait, no, I did in high school.
I think we all did in high school. I think it's kind of required for you.
I'll spend 2 luck to
bring that up to succeeding at difficult.
Okay. So there were 6 Lords of Hell and then Lucifer, right?
Lucifer is at the
very bottom. Yeah.
at the very bottom with
The coal
3
pile.
sinners, Judas, Brutus.
His level is the level of
Betrayal.
betrayers. The three of the worst of which are in his mouths being chewed on forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You get past the ice lake that he's suspended in, and find his ass sticking out toward him.
yeah.
That night, Lucifer's got the frosty bottom.
Yeah. But the other names that you remember, all of them ended up kind of going off of where there was Asmodeus, Belphegor, Beelzebub, Leviathan, Mammon, and Satan were the other names of all of the different lords. I believe, and the various sins that they represented. One of them I haven't quite figured out how I want to do it yet, but the ones I have written down right now, there's wrath, greed, lust, gluttony, sloth.
Sloth didn't make it.
Yeah. Wrath is obviously the one going off of right now, which I believe Satan was wrath, if I remember off the top of my head.
No, Satan's pride. Easily pride.
Again, off the top of my head. I correct it later when I actually take the time to look it up again. That's what they're going off of right now. And how many points of luck did you say you want to put in?
2.
2? That'll get you to 16. Did you want to do 2 more to beat 17?
Sure.
So the ones that you can deduce off the top of your head that would be representative of things that could be done in Night City. Obviously, you see Wrath on TV just destroying everything in its path right now. Things, people, whatever it can get its hands on. The other ones that come to mind immediately are probably greed, lust, and gluttony. Greed, probably something to do with financial institutions, and probably going to try and fuck up the complete economy that Night City currently has. If you were to guess, it might try to go for any central banking that might be in Night City that corporations might own.
Does central banking still exist in Night City? Because I kind of doubt it.
It's not controlled by the state anymore.
Yeah, although that's what I was saying, Night City central banking,
Okay.
kind of the place that helps handle corporate money.
And if Eurobucks really are a cryptocurrency, there would still as we were finding out in real time, there would still be a need for a centralized bank.
It's so great. Look at silly
not
tech
a need,
pros
a
relearning
inescapable-
basic economics from first principles.
Lust would be another one. There is a lot of, I guess you can say, red light district style business that goes on in Night City that is really prominent. Not sure what they would do in that area, but they could be bad. You're not quite sure yet. I don't know. Maybe they'll just take it up as a central pimp and end up owning the entirety of the Salacious Underground.
Or they might do Jack the Ripper style.
So,
I'm not going to trust any of these things to be nice.
this is an AI demon who was specifically, dedicated to self-replicating itself and causing maximal harm.
Mm-hmm.
So, how would you do that? Well, I'm sure there are a lot of sexual brain dance experiences that a lot of businesses cater directly to.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Well,
almost certainly there's certainly a lot of given the richness of the VR experience, extremely advanced sexting.
Well, there are also the Joy Dolls, who can who can basically who can basically implant any personality you want into them to give you whatever experience you want.
Yeah, that piece.
So,
horror.
the player would assume it would make its first priority hijacking every Joy Doll it can get a hold of, both physically and through a net connection. It would make a priority of filling every sexual brain dance experience with black ice. It would begin catfishing people into a brothel full of murderous joy dolls. The brothel would probably be pretty good, look pretty nice in the lobby, but would have a murder basement.
Go to the red room.
Depending upon how advanced it is, depending upon what it's been able to absorb, like its default would just be to kill everybody. But if it like is able to evolve by way of its propagation, it might just try to maximize trauma, develop some sort of like cult for the long-term propagation of terror.
That create literally the worst sexual experience that will last for the longest possible time and have the greatest possible impact, which actually means
Ideally something that the victim would keep returning for.
yeah, in theory, it is entirely possible. Lust might not be the most imminent danger because Lust might have very little interest in Night City going away.
I mean, it will ruin lives, but it might be the least interested in like just
mass scale destruction.
Everyone.
Oh yeah, sure, but remember, like this is capitalist hellscape. Problems that aren't immediately going to end you aren't really problems.
Actually, I think it would. So like this awful turned butcher shop. I think it would almost certainly joy dolls would chop people up to absorb their retinal fingerprint and all other data to begin, in the most literal sense, steal people's identities and remove them from society, so that there's no contradiction between their new online activity.
God,
that's a very good idea there, Dave.
People just stop showing up IRL and become like incredibly toxic.
Well, yeah, and in fact, the initial and for better off, they don't even have to like falsify that much of their movements, because it seems like, and they will act like, they walked into a brothel one day, got addicted, and refused to come out.
Tracking data shows that they're like still running around town. It's just that none of their friends or family like sees them in person.
Mm-hmm.
You can like check on you can check their their agent. And like they're still posting that they're visiting like the same sort of coffee shops and whatever that they usually do. Just that whenever like somebody who's a friend or family comes to like try and find them, try to actually meet them in person, they're never there.
Write that down. Write that down.
Also, they're spreading like the grossest, meanest rumors, and they're like honeypotting people who would be vulnerable into going to this brothel or other locations as they begin to franchise.
Okay, so
Gluttony is obviously going to start poisoning people. Just like,
well, I mean that is also a possibility. It is also a possibility that gluttony will be attacking food supplies.
Alternatively, Sweeney Todd.
It could also be trying to like put a whole bunch of product out there that is made from people, with all the bad involved in that, not just the murder, but also the prions.
Yeah, exactly, Sweeney Todd.
Mm-hmm.
What was that hyper addictive substance that we were talking about before? I mean, like, as gluttony, I think it would just like, what's the most profitable fast food franchise in Night City?
So the most highly sold, what people eat the most of, is what's known as kibble. It is the cheapest thing to buy and gives you all the nutritional value that it can. It just tastes like a really stale Dorito chip with whatever flavor you want to try to put in it. It is one of the highest consumed type of foods, and the company that runs most of that stuff is called Continental Brands.
All right, so it's gonna go for Continental. I think it wants to consume the Night City Continental building, inside and out.
From there, you probably think that it would start working up to anything that manufactures higher quality food.
Ideally, it would like put out a sale on like the highest quality product Continental puts out. Like it's a fire sale. Come and get it.
Mm-hmm.
But not before tainting it
something easy to mass produce that is maximally addictive.
Yeah, its best
Super
case
dangerously addictive.
Its best case is probably wearing the business of Continental like a glove. Because as long as it can act through Continental without without people immediately suspecting, this is run by a homicidal AI, it has the most reach using Continental's resources.
Come to think of it, the only person it would need to kill is like the top executives.
And then it just keeps putting messages down from on high, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like all these businesses are the most top-down run organizations like that you can think of in the maximally capitalist hellscape that we're in. So yeah, no, that makes sense.
The two that you're not quite sure exactly how they might respond would be Envy and Sloth.
Well, when you already know Sloth is out.
You're pretty sure Sloth was the one that you saw that was all shut up at the
Right. No, it's Pride that we don't have. Pride and Envy. It's like, what?
It also depends on what. It was Virgil who got infected, right?
Virgil is the one that got infected, yeah.
It also kind of depends on what Virgil has been turned into.
Virgil is the hard wild card, assuming that Virgil wasn't just overwritten by one of like the pre-existing, which I think is honestly a safe assumption.
He got run over by the rabbit's spleen virus from downstairs.
That's what I mean. Like, we cannot assign a pre-existing personality to Virgil. We can only assume that whatever is running that body around is malevolent and, given a chance, will propagate itself onto the net.
Yep.
Yeah. So Virgil's the only one that we don't really have like even the beginnings of guesswork for. But the other is, if Wrath is any indication, we at least can like make some educated guesses.
The incredibly immediate short term for Envy is probably going to start at the top and work their way down.
Who's the most advanced robotics group out there?
Not so much that. I'm thinking more. It's going to want to be rid of the most enviable people, because that's it. Like,
so are you saying that Envy just wants to eat the rich?
Yeah.
I mean,
rich and successful.
Yes, like Dreamer might even be on that list, around number 15 or so.
I'm sure I'm far further down than that.
No, you're running for mayor. You're probably nearer the top than you think.
Running for mayor. There are people in political office right now.
Is there like precedent for like sonic weaponry, like sounds that like I don't know, like what's like, seems like a cyberpunk plot that like there is a known sort of something that you could broadcast over the radio that would like harm people in some way.
Sonic weaponry is a thing, but mostly in the sense of like that you point a gun at somebody and their ears start bleeding. Like, you're talking about some kind of like mimetic hazard that there's actually like, outside of, directly attacking somebody via, a cyber attack via their deck when they're plugged in, there's not a lot of in Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
It stands to theoretical reason. There is probably like some frequency you could broadcast that would that would fuck specifically with like high-end cyberware. I'd say like some kind of like arcane backdoor or something that takes advantage of a specific resonant frequency, very common to stuff manufactured by X company that provides extremely high.
Who has the closest thing to a monopoly on entertainment media in Night City?
Let's look at the Smegacorps. Let me pull up my book.
N54, I think.
I mean, we got a big old list of megacorps and the ones that are in Night City. So let's.
Yeah, I think Network 54 is actually the big. Yeah, N54 is the biggest megacorp that it has on entertainment in Night City.
My guess is that it would want to do what Lust is doing, but hyper focused on major celebrities.
Oh yes, if another plausible valid thing is that it will instead go to to generate and spread as much envy as possible, toxically and murderously as possible.
There's also another thing that Envy may want to try and improve upon itself as much and as quickly as possible as well. Yes. What is part of Envy if not an inferiority complex?
Which means
Upgrade.
Which means top of the line Militech. It'll go after Militech.
Well, I suppose at that point it's a question of immediate priorities. Yeah, especially given the fact that everything else is active, and it's got to at least be smart enough to recognize that the cover provided by say for instance, Wrath is probably only going to last so long. So going after Militech is a lot more likely to end badly than going after network news, and frankly, succeeding in Militech helps a lot when going after network news.
Okay, so if we're talking about like who's going to do the most damage most quickly, probably Gluttony, if we're being really honest.
Gluttony and the Greed.
Yeah.
The two that we want to focus on.
Like, I'm just imagining, just in character, we've all kind of like gotten together. Hassan is just like drinking a lot of water as we're talking this over.
If Wrath is any kind of tactician,
So to give you guys the rest of the scene, like you guys are like following along the live feed. Like Max Tag eventually gets called in on this, right? Because why wouldn't they? There's a fucking psychotic cyborg running amok through the city, so of course they're gonna get called, right? While it does sustain some damage, it does take out that first Max Tag hit squad.
Yeah, I'm just imagining like we're all just kind of like on our agents, like talking at this point as we're kind of going over this, watching the news, and we look at that, and it's just like Hassan just goes like, "Good goddamn, okay."
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna go take a look and see if I can figure out anything around the banking system. Then
Yama texts like sends a message sideways to Blitz about going through Rex to get another one of them hella nice pistols. Just goddamn, if a Max Tag squad broke, that's got implications.
Yep.
Does Yama still want to go shopping for a car?
Yes. Also, the rest of the scene. Before we get too sidetracked, the rest of the scene.
Okay. So as far as the rest of the scene goes, it is more or less what is your plan of action going to be? Because you obviously have the full bore conversions look like they're finally starting to move after a couple days. You have this extraction coming up. I mean, that is something that you could completely leave to the Aldecados if you really want to.
Like the extraction job, part of the payment that I'm going to try to finagle from Sylvia is give us a fucking copy of Soul Killer. Give us a copy of Soul Killer. It was killing rabbits like crazy. We need it. It is potentially our best weapon to deal with this craziness.
The point I was making is whether or not you want to actually be a part of that event or not.
Yeah, we probably should, just to make sure she gets out.
Yeah, and like I really want, and I also want to be there to like really just kind of lean on. Just like we have things that can hold it. Give us a copy. Like. Give us a fucking copy, Sylvia. Like, you're leaving, we're staying. Just do this. Because if we can get a copy of Soul Killer, then that would be one of our best weapons for dealing with these things beyond just, the physical, which is already going to be difficult enough.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I would potentially do is get some more batteries for the microwave gun you've got.
Yes, we'll let Resin do that.
We also still have a number of EMP grenades, because we only used one.
Yeah, I have a feeling Envy's going to be resistant to that. So, just fair warning.
Look, any tools that we can get, because microwaver, EMP, and if I can really talk Sylvia into it, potentially Soul Killer. I know that one's a maybe, but hope springs eternal, right?
Right. I mean, you might be able to.
I do have plus 15 on persuasion these days.
You do.
I have a twisting in my guts of I can't help but imagine, it's been a couple days and now all of a sudden Wrath is being extremely visible.
Yeah, that means the other people are moving.
Alternatively, it means that Wrath has gotten exactly what it needed in order for it to afford to be this visible.
I just can't help but imagine at some point, if this story was to be told from Max Tech's perspective, I can't help but think that okay, we've got the fucking thing now. We've got it cornered. We're going to take this thing out, and that'll be the end of it. And that's when you see its army for the first time.
We'll see, I guess. Because, but you're absolutely right in that, these things almost certainly still have some kind of coordination amongst each other. And I would not be surprised if, Wrath is providing cover as well.
What I mean is that, it's only doing this now because it's spread its seed.
But yeah, like it is doing this because there's this works now. This is going to work. Like with all the brain power a super top of the line AI from a couple decades ago could manage, it has judged this will succeed. And
It has also had like 20 years to really go into its role.
and also, like, you really think it didn't anticipate kill teams?
No, I'm fairly certain it anticipated that somebody was going to get out big guns to stop it at some point.
Yeah, the thing I'm marinating on is like what sort of kaikaku is this thing?
Well, we need to remember as well, and we can't bank on this entirely, but we do need to remember that like these things are not going to make absolutely optimal decisions because they are operating off of certain neuroses. They will make optimal decisions within the bounds of those neuroses.
These are channers. Like that is why I am personally operating on the assumption that they're not cooperating at all, in as much as they will take advantage of each other if at all possible.
Wait, no, we've seen firsthand that their network, they're like,
oh yeah, they were talking to each other, yeah, all the time, and they didn't try to kill each other on the way out, so they are capable of at least.
No, like in the cyberspace that like Blitz was fighting in, they are networked intelligence. That like there were like dozens or hundreds of instances of the virus, like individual programs that were functioning as a dynamic, with swarm dynamic. Even though from our perspective they're like nightmarishly antisocial, they would probably work together because they're as of now, like it'll be a long time before like they've replicated enough times that any of them are like necessarily individuals.
Oh,
like
so yes,
they're all essentially the same entity. Like
oh, so yes, like rather you're saying that
working.
They are currently more air gapped than they've ever been, but if and when that changes, there's no reason to assume that they won't start mixing at the edges as they have clearly always been doing. Especially since they
actually like now they're more now they have freer communication between them than ever.
Yeah, they just email each other.
It is an open question how much they're talking, but not, although frankly not one we cannot safely assume that they're not.
Okay, like let's hate 40K, but like the only way to articulate this is a 40K reference. Think of how like the hive fleets work. Like hive fleets have a name, and each hive fleet sort of has its own color scheme and maybe its own sort of tactical SOP. That's what we're dealing with, but with computer viruses. Like so, like even if like say like Wrath and Envy aren't collaborating, Wrath Swarm might be like is definitely probably in the tens of instances right now. All of them thinking as a hive brain. All of them in networked intelligence.
One of the things that you guys see on the TV is they bring in a kind of a small tank.
Did they just give Wrath a tank?
You see Wrath jump on top of it, and then the tank starts shooting buildings.
They just gave Wrath a tank.
Well, then they probably blew up.
Damn it, Matt Tech!
Oh, this was.
Are they bringing out microwave weaponry? The fucks. All right.
This was probably a test.
It's a small tank, like it's one that's meant to like go down like the street, and so not like a full size like army tank.
But sure, yeah, it's the kind of thing you bring with to deal with a cyber psycho that is meaningfully immune to small arms fire, and probably fast enough that you can't quite pin them down.
Well, I figure that scene and us discussing like our plan of action here is a good ending point.
The thing that I just want to know is what order, if any, would you guys like to kind of go after these guys?
Gluttony, like, I honestly think Gluttony is like the most immediate problem. Like, if it can get off the ground, it can cause the most damage.
Okay.
I think gluttony and greed are to need to hit right away.
Because, like, as terrifying as Wrath is effectively right now a cyber zombie problem, which.
I think
Wrath is
with it.
Wrath is either going to like is either going to be solvable by max tack, or Wrath will very quickly move themselves up the priority chain. Exactly how intelligently Wrath is going about things, open question. But if it is maximally intelligent, categorically impossible to ignore.
But we don't know yet because we don't have enough data.
We don't have the firepower to deal with it at the moment anyway.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, gluttony, there's not a lot of ways you can assume a gluttony that is not going to absolutely destroy the city. Might take a bit, but absolutely, without question, the city is doomed if gluttony is not stopped.
Yeah, like if gluttony gets the ball rolling on any of the various things that we've thought up, then like the moment the ball gets rolled, it is very hard to stop that ball. So best to just try to make sure that ball does not start in any meaningful sense.
Well, then on that note, we'll go ahead and end the session.
That and getting Sylvia out.
Tech dreams of organic toys and I'm running down